All right, Oklahoma City Thunder, they're not undefeated, but it feels like they win every single game they play. They're 17 and 1 at this point, and there's not a lot of teams you can compare at least their numbers to during this season. You have to go into NBA history to kind of compare any of the things that the Thunder are doing to other teams. With that being said, I'm not going to hand them the trophy for the championship right now. We'd like to compare them to the Boston Celtics that won in 2024 because the Boston Celtics, they were a young team. They were absolutely dominating teams all season long. They get the Jason Tatum injury and things change. I don't wish injuries on any player, but basically I'm saying just because a team is killing it in the regular season doesn't necessarily mean that they're automatically going to win the championship. You still have to go into the playoffs and beat those teams to earn your championship. The Golden State Warriors, 2016, they started off 24 and 0. Again, the Thunder, they're 17 and 1 right now. That Warriors team, they finished 73 and 9. They ended up losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Draymond Green's hitting people in the nuts. Y'all remember what happened. Cleveland Cavaliers from last season, they started 15 and 0. And then the Houston Rockets in 1994 started off 15 and 0. Washington Capitals from 1949 did it as well, but we won't talk about teams from 1949. I wasn't even close to being born, so I have no business talking about those teams. But this Rockets team in '94, that's when they went back to back with Akeem Olajuwon. That Cavaliers team from last year, they had the Darius Garland toe injury. They ended up flaming out. This Golden State Warriors team ended up flaming out as well with Draymond Green hitting people in the nuts and things like that. But OKC again, they're off to a 17 and 1 start, which is just one of the best starts in NBA history. Needless to say, moving on for this season, Oklahoma City, we'll just go based off the defensive rating right here. These are the greatest defensive ratings in the NBA season so far. So again, right here, they're 17 and 1 so far in the season. Their defensive rating is 102.8. If you don't know what defensive rating means, it's basically how many points they're allowing per 100 possessions. So every 100 possessions the other team gets, Oklahoma City's allowing basically 103 points per 100 possessions, and that's an absolutely stupid number. Just to put it into perspective, Dallas is the number 2 defensive team in the NBA. Shout out to Dallas and Mavericks fans. That's surprising to me that y'all's defense is so dominant. Detroit Pistons, the Heat, the Rockets, those ones aren't so surprising. But, that's awesome. That's surprising that Dallas is up there. But Dallas is 110 points. Detroit's 110. Miami Heat's 110. The Rockets get up to 111 points. But basically, the Dallas Mavericks, they're the second best defensive rated team in the NBA so far. I'm not going to argue if they're going to keep up that pace, but basically the point is the Oklahoma City Thunder are way better at defense than any other team in the NBA, and it's really not close. Again, it's a 7-point gap between the Thunder and the second place Dallas Mavericks. So pretty much as soon as the game starts, OKC's up 7-0 because their defense is going to be at least 7 points better than any other team in the NBA. If we go to the offensive rating, Houston is the best offensive rated team. Nuggets are 2, Knicks are 3. Oklahoma City is number 4 there. So Houston, same thing for offensive rating. How many points your team is scoring per 100 possessions. So Houston is scoring 122. Denver's 122. The Knicks are 119. The Thunder are 119 as well. So they're about 3 points behind the Houston Rockets, which isn't a huge difference, but shout out to Houston. Houston is the best offensive rated team in the NBA so far. As far as teams that are top 5 in offensive rating and defensive rating, it's only going to be, again, this is offensive rating, top to bottom. Houston Rockets and OKC are both in the top 5, and then same thing for defensive rating. The Rockets are number 5, OKC is number 1. The net rating, that's just the difference. This is the point differential between you and the teams you're playing. So on average, OKC is blowing teams out by 17 points per game. Their net rating is 16.9. So again, that's just absolutely ridiculous. They're basically blowing teams out by 17 points on average every single night. Moving on to net ratings, here's the best net ratings of all time. So again, Oklahoma City, basically 17 points, 16.7 points. is what they're blowing teams out by. The best team of all time, in a lot of people's opinion, is that 1996 Bulls team. This Thunder team is blowing teams out by just about 3 points more than that Chicago Bulls team. And that Bulls team is regarded by a lot of people to be just the best overall team of all time. A lot of people call that Bulls team the best defense of all time as well. So they're number two. The number three team, as far as the best teams in NBA history in terms of net rating. So just point differential, how much you're winning the games by or losing the games by. Number three is the Thunder, just from last year. So two of the top three teams, and then you got the Bulls from '97. So four four of the best net rating teams of all time. Two of those are the Thunder, then the other two are the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls, and then the third one is the Kevin Durant Warriors 2017. So basically you can only compare the Oklahoma City Thunder, their net rating, defensive rating, offensive rating. In NBA history, you can only compare them to the Michael Jordan Bulls and then the Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. So they only compare to the greatest teams of all time. Right now, they do have the best net rating of all time. We'll see if they can keep that up or not. Not to take away from Oklahoma City Thunder, but they've had the weakest schedule in the entire NBA up until this point. That's not to take away from them again. You just play the teams that are in front of you. Oklahoma's been playing those teams and just absolutely destroying them by 17 points game in and game out. So their schedule is going to get harder. I don't know if they are or aren't going to keep up this 17 point per game net rating because it's ridiculous to be blowing teams out by 17 points per game on average. But Oklahoma City Thunder, this is one of the best teams we've ever seen in NBA history. Even if you're a hater, I don't so much love the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't love SGA's play style, but if you want to say SGA is not one of the best offensive players of all time, if you want to say this Thunder team is one of the best teams we've seen of all time, you're just honestly being an Oklahoma City Thunder hater. And like I said, I'm partially an Oklahoma City Thunder hater, but I watch a lot of basketball, and it's just ignorant and it's just not true to act like this isn't one of the best teams of all time. Again, we were comparing this team to the Celtics, the 2024 Celtics, because they were very young. They were destroying teams. They looked kind of similarly built to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Just have a bunch of 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guys. They can shoot threes and just switch every matchup defensively. Here's that Celtics team, 2023-24, and they actually had the sixth highest net rating of all time. So it's not like that Celtics team isn't comparable to these Thunder teams, because it is comparable in terms of net rating. But again, like I said earlier, it just depends on if this Thunder team can stay healthy, keep all their guys in there, and I hope they can stay healthy. I never wish injury on any team. I want to see OKC at full strength going into the playoffs, and then hopefully another team can knock them off, and it'll be a fair fight. I don't want to see them come in, then SGA gets hurt or J-Dub is still hurt, and then some team knocks Oklahoma City out of the playoffs, and people are saying, oh, if this guy wasn't hurt, if that guy wasn't hurt, then this would have happened. At the end of the day, you just play the teams in front of you. I want to see OKC stay healthy, but if they go into the playoffs and Chetta's injured, J-Dub's injured, and they get knocked out of the playoffs, I know that Oklahoma City Thunder team would not use injuries as an excuse for themselves, because they're just a plug-and-play team. If one guy gets injured, the next guy comes in, and the machine just keeps on rolling. But yeah, just extremely impressive what the Thunder are doing. They're the best net-rated team of all time. I'm excited to see if they can keep that up all season long, because we're still pretty young into the season, but we're almost 20 games in, so we're about 1/4, 1/4 of the way through the season, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows this, but the Thunder are not a fluke. We're watching one of the greatest teams of all time, and they're still young. Don't look at the Clippers record right now, but Oklahoma City owns the Los Angeles Clippers pick for this year, or for next year's draft rather. So Oklahoma City, they could realistically get another top 5 pick at the beginning of next season, which is crazy to think. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 7 million subscribers. Let me know what you think about the Oklahoma City Thunder just destroying every single team they play, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.